Welcome to the hit podcast, H.I.T, Human Resources, Insurance, and Technology. I'm your host, Toby Kennedy. As with every week, we are dropping into your feed on Tuesdays. So like, subscribe, heck, share, tell a friend. We are trying to create curated, bite-sized, digestible content. So you give us 15-ish minutes a week, and we give you some fantastic conversations. This week's will be absolutely phenomenal. This week's episode is brought to you by Montage Insurance Solutions. And without any further ado, I am so excited. I've had luminaries and great HR gurus, but to have an HR rock star, to have the Rafael Rivera in here with us, I'm so excited. Rafael, thank you so much for joining us.
Toby, thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad to engage your audience today.
I'm so excited to have you. We've known each other for years and years, and we have crossed paths in our different professional capacities, but just in case the audience needs a quick refresher on maybe not only what your current role is, but if you can give me a quick, who are you, what's the background, how'd you get here, and then let's dive into your current role and the things that you are doing for the HR community that is phenomenal.
Well, I just celebrated my 14th anniversary as the CEO of PIHRA, Professionals in Human Resources Association. And for those that may not know, it is the largest affiliate of SHRM in the country, maybe in the world. I don't know if we're competing with China and India right now. Happy to be leading this organization comprised of the HR professionals and great members and volunteers that are very committed to making their workplaces better for their employees. I think our impact is over 2 million employees here in Southern California.
Unbelievable. So currently serving as the CEO of PIHRA and have been for quite some time. And one thing that's coming down the pike fairly soon is a major event. You guys have not only local chapters and lots of local events, but a big sort of statewide event. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the event-based or in-person gatherings that your organization touches, puts on, et cetera?
Yeah. PIHRA has 18 professional chapters and 12 student chapters. So if you're a member of PIHRA, you have access to our entire network. You're a member of your local affiliate or local chapter, but you can access any other chapter for their continuing education or socials, and certainly participate our association-wide events. Which in May, we'll have our annual conference, the California HR Conference, May 20th to the 22nd in Anaheim at the Hilton Anaheim. That event, I can't remember how many years we've been doing it. It's got to be 65 plus years.
Yeah.
We welcome thousands of HR professionals, and we cover 13 different content tracks that will provide a round continuing education that the HR professional can apply at their workplace when they return on Thursday. I've been here for 17 years, and we've been a part of this event every year. It's big, like you said, lots of people, lots of great content. Historically, some really excellent speakers and keynote speakers. I mean, some major names kind of come to mind. Talk to me a little bit about some of the highlights you expect of this year's conference. All right. We are switching things up this year, always trying to meet the needs of our members and the HR community. We have focused a number of sessions that we are presenting, and we're trying to incentivize people to return back in person. Post-COVID, we launched a hybrid conference, which will still be hybrid, and I think over 400 streamers joined us this past year. We think that number will remain high, but what we're seeing is an increase in in-person engagement because you just can't beat that. It is not the same way to not only connect with your HR peers, but to learn. Because when you're at home, honestly, you're competing with email, you're competing with Teams or any other tool, and you're not fully focused on that content, which you need to become a better HR professional or to further your career.
So I'm hearing you say, Toby, we understand that there are some folks that need to be remote. We will accommodate them. We expect several hundred of them. However, if I could entice you to please come in person, it'll be even more awesome in person.
There's going to be more content available for that in-person audience. Yep. We will still have the streaming. We will still have the on-demand, but there's going to be some sessions that are only going to be available live. We're going to have micro-learning sessions, 15 to 30-minute sessions in our Spotlight stage. We're going to continue to do coaching, and we're working with a new partner to bring us, coaching that's going to be bite-sized and actionable. So instead of 60 minutes, we're trying 15 to 20 minutes.
Hey, that sounds like a lot like what we do here.
We're trying to make sure that we give you that tool that you can apply. And then, we're still going to, our DNA is going to be making it really engaging, making it exciting. There's going to be live music. There's going to be activations from the ones that you know and love, like the 360 photo booth, the headshot booth, but there's going to be more things that we're going to be incorporating.
Okay, so lots of reasons to come in person. Totally hear that. You mentioned remote and then sort of on demand, and I do want to unpack that a little bit. Is that, correct me if I'm wrong, and or putting words in your mouth, but the session's available beyond just the dates, beyond May 21st, 22nd. Is that what you mean by on demand?
Yes. So we'll do the live stream that's live in real time. You're going to get the content that our audience is getting on site. And when we have concurrent sessions, you'll have the option to select your preferred session. But when it comes to on demand, let's say that you need to recertify. And Toby, I need to recertify for SHRM and HRCI this year.
Personally, I know. So we're connected on LinkedIn. I look at the back of your name. It's like MBA, this, that, the third. I'm like, well, this guy's got an alphabet soup of CEs to get through.
I actually let lapse a certification that wasn't in the HR space because it was affecting the business cards, which we don't currently have anymore. We've gone digital. But if you need to recertify, you're going to need a lot of credit hours. I think we're going to have 28 hours of content available on demand. So that's almost half of what you need to recertify every 3 years.
Do the folks that attend live ultimately get on-demand access on the back end?
They do.
Okay.
They, you get it in person, and if you miss it, you get on demand. I know I just attended a conference, and I couldn't go to every session, but I need those credit hours. So I'm going to be consuming them after the fact. And also it facilitates if, live happens. If you need to step out of a session because you need to take a call, you can have that session, on your mobile device and, still be in your Teams meeting.
That's right.
I'm not that I'm condoning splitting your time, but it's
well, listen, every time.
Reality.
That's right. That's right.
It happens.
That's right. Okay. So about how long do you expect that you guys will continue to make this available? So obviously they're in person, whether they're streaming or they're live. There's those dates in May, and then they get to log back in for how long?
Yeah, I think officially, my marketing team may say,
we're gonna edit
60 days, but I think it has some legs.
Enough time to get to it.
Yeah, you will that probably will still be around there for 6 months, and we won't cut you off.
Okay, so for folks that are listening now and are attending, they're like, I'm so glad I'm seeing this episode. I plan to go. What are some tips and tricks or things they might not have known of? Or, hey guys, if you are going to be there, I want to make sure you knew about this is happening or that's happening.
Yeah, we encouraging everyone to participate from day one. So May 20th is International HR Day, and we're going to have a welcome reception outdoors. So that's your best and first opportunity to connect with folks socially. Find the people that you may, want to follow, around 2 sessions, your buddies. And then you also may actually meet some speakers that may be persuading you to attend their sessions. Yep. We will have a formal, first-time orientation, or if you haven't been in a while, just a refresher. Yep. Now my team may not know that yet, but we're going to do it.
Yep.
And for everyone, both in person and online, I think what's crucial is for everyone to update their profile. Oh, the challenge that I see.
Wait, so their profile
for the event, we're gonna have an app.
But in the app,
in the app, so you
not your LinkedIn profile. We'll update that too.
Yeah, it's update your LinkedIn profile, update your PIHRA membership profile so that I know, like, where to send you communications. But, what I typically see is that 25 to 50% of attendees haven't even, gone to the app to figure out, like, how to navigate that. If you don't, and you get to the conference, then you may be just scrambling to figure out like what session, to go to. What's the content that's going to be more, most relevant to, my needs at work or personally the needs that,
So how do I make those foolproof for them? What's the name of the app? How do they do the app? What do you mean?
We're going to send everyone who's registered email with access to that app at least a week before. Okay. So just like open it, just put your name on there, take a look at who the presenters are, their topics, their learning level, which is very important as far as like, is this a strategic session or is this an entry level? And you determine that based on, your, career level title.
But you guys tag these for them.
Yeah. It's like there'll be an ability for them to, to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So covering some things for the folks that are attending, and we've touched on that. What about folks that are listening that are either on the fence or hadn't heard of it, but now we've piqued their interest? Like, talk to me about tipping that person over. Why would they attend?
Yeah, the main reason to attend is, do you want to further your career, and are there specific learning opportunities that can help your employer? If you're a supervisor, ideally your supervisor is identifying the skills that you need to do your job now, but also to take you to the next level. For those that are typically on the fence, I would say it's probably more of like a timing. It's like a timing, do I have enough time? Anecdotally, the challenge that I see from HR teams right now is that HR teams aren't fully staffed. So how do we
By
make...
right now, you mean the last 20 years?
Surely that could be the long-running story. But, if you have a HR team of 4, can 2 go on one day and then, switch to the other? Some employers do that. They alternate, so everyone has an opportunity to participate.
And then all 4 people would, of course, have access to all of the content at their leisure for the next X amount of time.
Whether you go for the full conference or one day, you will get access to the full conference on demand. Right. So 75% of attendees, they go for the full conference. Yeah. But again, we do know of employers and employers specifically that half of the HR team will go on one day and the other half will go on the other day.
So that's maybe a little bit of an overcoming some of the objections, right? Where it's like, listen, Toby, I'm glad and thank you so much for coming out and having Rafael speak to this, but I've got the following objection. You're like, hey, listen, break it up, do it over a couple days, get your content on the back end. So I think that's really exciting about the conference. Is there any price break for people that are a part of PIHRA or SHRM or anything where maybe we're talking memberships in general and the benefits of those memberships relative to this one specific annual event we've just spent a minute on?
Yes. PIHRA members get $175 less registration for a full conference than non-members. If you're a non-member, we will welcome you as a brand new member and you'll get a 12-month membership.
So if they're a non-PIHRA member and they join to attend this conference, a 12-month PIHRA membership.
They get 12 months. So it's a win-win because with a PIHRA membership, as I mentioned, you can attend your primary chapter or any chapter event. Sometimes there are fees associated with those meetings, but sometimes there are no fees.
And they usually meet monthly, right?
Some chapters meet monthly. Some chapters meet in person, online, and all of our webinars are complimentary to PIHRA members. So throughout the year, if you don't have the time to leave the office, we encourage you to leave the office. Sure. But if you don't have the time, then you can always still connect, and that's included in your membership fee.
Super cool, super cool. And I know, and I'm very grateful to you for this. There's another avenue to discounts. Is that right?
Yeah. For your listeners and future subscribers, we're offering a $25 gift card to register for the conference. So the promo code's going to be HIT25. And, we hope to thank those that are, following you right now.
I appreciate that so much. So see, listeners, there's me on it, right? It's not just great content every week. Sometimes there's money coming off the back of the truck. So I'm really grateful for that. So use the promo code HIT25 when you go to register for a $25 discount off of your registration to the big event.
It's a $25 gift card. Baby.
Even better.
This is,
this is money.
Yeah, this is money.
Oh, that's great.
Apply it for Amazon, whatever.
Beautiful.
If you need new AirPods to, shout out to Apple.
That's it. Yeah, thank you. I'm working on that sponsorship. That's right. Working our way up, guys. Right on. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we covered the event. We covered sort of how to register, why to register. We covered some of the local kind of PIHRA chapters. I do just want to ask a little bit from your role, sort of what you've done and seen. Where do you see the craft of HR, the HR practitioner today, and where is it headed? And just for someone that's your boots on the ground and you've been such an integral part of the community for a long time, I'd love to zoom out from some of these events and just pick your brain, maybe some of your thoughts on that stuff.
Yeah, right now, the two things that I'm hearing the most are the challenges in filling vacancies on HR teams. Yep. Some CHROs have said, look, I've had this vacancy for more than 12 months.
Yeah.
Why can't we fill those vacancies? I mean, is it that we don't have enough qualified candidates? There's been the recent trend of people leaving California. Some are working remotely. I recently just met a CHRO for a company in Ventura that's living in Montana.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
That's new.
That's going to be part of the new norm.
But even more than leaving California, there's stats on people leaving the field, right? HR practitioners leaving HR in general, let alone folks, like you said, that might be able to remote back in. That presumes they're still in the field. So there's a candidate winnowing too.
Thankfully, I'm mainly talking to people that are saying, I am interested in joining the HR field. I'm like, that's fantastic. That makes me, very excited.
Good.
The most recent Bureau of Labor Statistics had 199,000 HR professionals in California. So by the government data, the number of HR professionals is growing in California by tens of thousands.
Love that.
But with the challenge of why can't we fill positions, sometimes comes the, I don't have maybe enough budget to offer higher salaries. And as we have experienced inflation to some degree, some employers are like, well, I just cannot keep continuing to increase wages to attract the new people, because if I attract somebody else, I may not be able to compensate others. It's just going to mess up your internal compensation structure.
Yeah. Okay, so that was one. Is there something? I feel like you were like, there's a couple things that HR people.
Well, the one thing that we still see for HR in general is because I attend so many events and I am so connected with the certifying bodies, I find that a lot of HR professionals are really not taking the time to invest in their professional development. When I look at, California, 199,000 HR professionals, 15% plus are certified. So California has the lowest penetration of certified professionals.
Isn't that interesting?
In it's like it's a phenomenon that goes from east to west. Where it's like most certifications, most HR professionals in the East Coast are certified, and it just greatly decreases. I got a nugget of information a couple of weeks ago where one of my contacts at SHRM shared the penetration in HR professionals joining organizations. I'm going to say this. I hope that, PIHRA can be a resource for HR professionals, but if we're not a good fit, I highly encourage you to find that community, that group of peers that makes the most sense. So if you want an intro, I'll introduce you to any other group.
Yeah. And some of them are industry specific, right? So for example, we as a firm have a big penetration in the credit union world, right?
Yeah.
And there's shout out to HRD Network, who I love. There's an HR development network that's specific to credit unions. And they're not really competitors in ways other companies can be sometimes. So they can share best practices really freely. And so like you're saying, by the way, it doesn't need to be one or the other. Sometimes you can join an industry specific one to maybe get you something that's little nuggets that are specific there. But also your guys' organizations, the PIHRA organizations that do a tremendous job on specifically California stuff, but even also lots of kind of universal HR. And then maybe look around, like you said, join more organizations, get out there, find mentors.
We all need our people. We cannot operate in a vacuum. There's a lot of HR professionals that are HR department one. Yep. You need somebody to, offload some of that, too, and work on those, great practices. Yeah. So, with that is that, there's so many opportunities for professional development, whether that's, formal education with a certification. Nowadays, there are new certificate programs. SHRM has a slew of certificate programs, and they could learn from, providers that have, content. Yeah. Even if you're participating in a podcast, hopefully you're getting information that is going to benefit you.
Yeah, right on. I appreciate that so much. I'll end it here and just say, for anyone listening out there, is there anything we didn't touch on that if you're able to speak to an HR professional or they bumped into you, like, oh man, I'm so glad I bumped into you. Say, all right, I got 2 cents for you. Here's my little nugget.
Well, I will segue to, like, one of the things that people want to know is, like, what's your HR background?
Yeah.
And, I want to share with you, if I hadn't told you before, I was a recruiter. I was doing the on-campus recruiting back in the day where we were tasked with U.S. News and World Report top 25 schools. I'm like, why only top 25? Well, you could be that choosy depending on the what company you do. So that was my HR cred. And then when I started running organizations, I didn't have a HR person. I had to be that executive that is like, okay, you state that this is the law, this is the rules. I got to go into my handbook, not only the employee handbook, but maybe the Cal Chamber Law Digest, and figure out is this legitimate.
Yep.
So that's how I can connect with the audience, and I sat down for my certifications as our members have, so that I could experience what they experience. It's
part of the alphabet soup behind her name now.
Yeah, and we can relate, and I can say that was that was a trying time, because I sat in a class of 23 other HR professionals, and I thought, oh man, I am the CEO of this organization. I better pass first time out.
I was going to say that's a little extra pressure relative to the average bear.
It was. And I had two of our board members that were teaching the class. So it's like, I would have been letting a lot of people down.
That's right. And for clarity, you indeed passed.
I did pass. Passed the first time. So I'm good. And
good times.
And that's the tip. Once you're certified, do not let that go, because you do not want to retest.
And that's a great way to end, because you guys are those CE credits. So you're talking about don't let it go, meaning you have to keep up on continual education. You have to get those credits, and you guys are a wonderful resource for that.
Yes.
Okay. We talked about the big annual event, whether it's in person or virtual, but try to get in person. You got the on-demand after, the value of the local PIHRA chapters, all the things you guys bring to the table, and a little bit of Rafael as a background. I have had a phenomenal time today. Thank you so much for everything we're able to talk about, to cover, to get the promo code HIT25 for you guys to get a $25
HIT 25.
gift card. So
yeah, you can't beat that. And I look forward to seeing you in person in a few months.
We will be the title sponsor, and we are so excited to be out there. So thank you for that.
Montage Insurance Solutions, again, returning as the title sponsor. So we'll see you, and we'll see Danon probably on stage.
That's right. We'll see the team. And I think that a big part of that is us believing in what you guys are doing and believing in these events and looking at the HR community and saying it takes a village, and for whatever part we can be in that, we're super proud to do that. So thank you very much for being out here today.
Well, I know that you typically plan some fun activations at your booth. So whether it's the fresh squeezed fresh pressed juice or essential oils, there's going to be something, or aura reading. I think that was...
We've had some cool booths in the years past.
Some great stuff.
Man. You're right. Yeah, so we'll get with the team. We'll make sure the booth is cool and worth you guys stopping by if you are at the event. And either way, please just, reach out, be a part of your communities where you can grow and learn. And that is all the time we have for you on this week's episode. Join us next week, Tuesday. Join us every week. We are dropping into your feed. And until next week, make this the best week yet.